The Lotus Method. How to build unstoppable discipline and master your brain. Do you know what's actually harder than running a marathon? It's not scrolling TikTok for 30 minutes. That is what discipline really is. But what if you could train your brain so effectively that discipline felt like drinking tea while your mind bench presses for you? Or worse, have you ever stood there, mouth shut, while someone said something cutting, only to have your brain betray you with the perfect comeback 3 hours too late? That freeze isn't a personal glitch. It's an ancient survival system hijacking your nervous system. Today, I'm showing you the Lotus Method, a system to rise above the mud of distraction and social anxiety to build a mind that is pure, clean, and untouchable. Motivation is like that flaky friend who hypes you up for the gym but mysteriously disappears on leg day. Discipline, however, is the friend who shows up at 6 a.m. and drags you out of bed. The Lotus Method is a 4-stage framework: root, stem, bloom, and thrive, designed to hardwire your brain for maximum control. Whether you are struggling to stay on track with your goals or you're tired of losing your dignity when someone throws a passive-aggressive jab, this method transforms avoidance into action. By the end of this video, you will have a roadmap to reclaim your nervous system and turn impossible goals into Tuesday afternoon chores. Every lotus needs roots, and your discipline does too. If your reason for wanting change is just, "I guess I should," you've already lost. You need a spicy why, a reason so strong it wakes you up when the alarm clock can't. Try the 5 whys exercise. If you want to wake up early, ask yourself why, then ask again and again until you reach the core. Maybe it's not about productivity at all. Maybe it's because you never want your family to struggle the way you did. That is the why that sticks. Once you have your root, apply Rule 1. Layered breakdowns. Most people freeze because the mountain looks too high. Don't try to write a novel, write 1 sentence. Don't build a body, do 1 push-up. Break the overwhelming into the absurdly simple. Each micro-step triggers a dopamine release, creating success momentum that kills hesitation. The stem is what keeps the lotus upright against the mud. Rule 2 is early ignition. You don't need motivation, you need a spark. Your brain lies to you, telling you to wait until you're in the mood. That is just resistance whispering in your own voice. You must act within the first 3 seconds before excuses can form. Once you start, your brain wants to finish. To make this easier, stop relying on willpower. Willpower runs out fast. Instead, hack your environment. You wouldn't keep a grizzly bear in your living room and try really hard not to pet it. Delete distracting apps. Hide junk food. Make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. Build a frictionless path toward the life you want. When the lotus blooms, it's powerful. This is where you develop deep focus and emotional control. Rule 3 is to weaponize your biology. Reward effort, not just outcomes. A small physical signal, like a nod or clenched fist after starting a hard task, trains your brain to release dopamine at the beginning of effort, not the end. Combine this with time blocking. Work in focused sprints with 0 distractions. But discipline isn't only tested in silence. Sometimes the mud is another person. When someone insults you, your ancient brain treats it like a threat, shutting down your ability to think. Instead of freezing, use the power pause. Hold eye contact. Feel your feet on the ground. Take 1 slow breath. This brings your thinking brain back online. Then use the curiosity flip. Say, "I'm curious what you meant by that." This shifts control back to you and forces the other person to explain themselves. To make discipline permanent, you must enter the thrive stage. Rule 4 is visualization, but not the fantasy version. Don't imagine applause. Imagine the struggle, the cold mornings, the doubt. This builds mental armor, so reality doesn't surprise you. Rule 5 is micro-challenges. Do hard things on purpose, cold showers, short sprints, small acts of voluntary discomfort. Raise your baseline for what feels normal. And finally, the most important shift, identity. Stop saying, "I want to be disciplined." Start saying, "I am disciplined." When your identity changes, your behavior follows. Skipping habits starts to feel out of character, and your brain fights to protect who you believe you are. The Lotus Method isn't about punishment or denial. It's about building a life where you are no longer controlled by impulses or other people's emotions. Discipline is not about denying reward. It's about choosing when and where you allow it. For the next 7 days, pick one habit and apply the root, stem, bloom, and thrive process. Start small. Even a single 4-second pause can change everything.